What's going on, everybody? I've made like 8 or 9 videos today. That's why when you watch a video of mine over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm wearing the same identical clothes. But what this video is about is my top 5 favorite handguns that I bought this year. Now, some of these aren't new to this year. They're just new to me this year. So, I'm going to try to go from number 5 down. It's going to be pretty hard to do this because I really like all these handguns laying on the table. All of them. I really like all of them. But I'm going to try to go from number 5 down. And I do have an honorable mention. That would probably be number 6. I'll probably show that later on right before we get to number 1. But it's not a close number 2. It would be number 6 if we had 6. All right. So, number 5 on this list is the Walther PDP. I really like this gun. I like the ergonomics of this gun. It has one of the best triggers. If you watch my trigger video, I don't know if the trigger video will go before this or after this, but it has one of the best triggers of any striker fired or almost any pistol on the market today. I think it pulled at like 3.6 pounds or something. I can't remember what it was, but it has an extremely light trigger straight out of the box. The ergonomics on Walther is amazing. All Walther handguns that I've ever used, shot, or owned has amazing ergonomics. They did these really deep serrations so you can really get a hold of it when you're wanting to rack the slide or press check it or whatever that may be. I really like the way they curved out the grip here. It just fits your hand really well. It's just big enough that I can get a full grip on this without having a finger hanging down. I used to own the full size one of these. I accidentally bought the full size and I meant to get the compact, so I had 2 of them at one time. I think the full size felt a little better than the compact, but I wanted the compact, so I bought the compact and then traded the full size. But this is one of my favorite handguns I bought this year. Not my favorite, but one of them. And this pistol hit the market by storm. I was lucky enough to get one when it first come out. The compacts are a little hard to find at times, and I got lucky to get a compact. But it shoots well. It is a good shooting pistol. And like I said, the ergonomics are amazing. It has ambidextrous slide stops, and they're very easy to get to. And again, it has one of the best triggers on the market today. All right, number 4. And number 4 is very hard for me to choose because I have 2 guns that are very, very close. But I am going to say number 4 does wind up having to be the Springfield Operator TRP, or I guess TRP Operator in 10mm. Now, I do like the 45 versions of these, but there's always been something about 1911s that I loved. You can't beat a good 1911. The ergos of a 1911 are awesome. The triggers on 1911s are amazing. I mean, look at that reset. I mean, it's nothing. Just, that's all the take up. I mean, it's amazing. It is very, very amazing. In the trigger review video I didn't even include 1911s because their triggers are so awesome. We just put them on the pedestal to start with and moved down from there. But I've always loved a good 1911. They're just a little bit heavy, a lot of expensive. I think this 1911 was something like $1,800 out the door. It was very, very expensive. It was close to $1,800, if not. It was really close. But it is in 10mm. I do love the 10mm round. Packs a lot of punch, But it's just hard to beat a really, really nice 1911. And I think Springfield Armory makes a really, really nice 1911, especially these TRP operators. They're just hard guns to beat. I believe in Chris Kyle's book, American Sniper, I believe he said he carried a Springfield TRP operator once his Sig 226 went down or something like that. I'm sure his was in 45. So these are tried, true, and tested, just really, really good guns. And it was hard to put this at number 4, but the number 3 just edged it out just a little bit. And it's hard to believe that I'm putting this gun at number 3 because I do love it. But again, it's not something I would carry, and I tend to lean more towards carry guns, although the number 1 gun on this list is not a carry gun, but I do like it a little bit better than this. And number 3 is the CZ Shadow 2. This one has the best trigger on the table in single action. In single action, this thing has the best trigger. You can carry it cocked and locked if you choose to do so, but this trigger, that's it, breaks. It was like right at 2 pounds when I did the trigger pull test. I do want to say, putting these Loke grips on it made this pistol all that much more better. I also want to say that I do have a Loke mag release on it, but I broke my mag release trying to take off the factory mag release button. So I had to buy a new mag release so I could put this Loke grip one on it. And I'm having a little bit of a problem with it right now. No ammo in here. But if I hit it, it don't fall out. I have to like reposition my grip and really push down on it. Hopefully that breaks in a little bit. I don't know, but it's not working exactly properly right now. Luckily, this isn't a carry gun. Now, if you push it, and you can strip it like that, but you really have to push in hard to get to drop free, and the other one didn't do that. Nothing to do with the Loke mag release button. It has to do with the new mag release I actually installed. It's just a little stiff, and I'm hoping that breaks in. But I do love this gun. This is probably one of the most accurate guns I actually own. This thing just prints the same bullet hole. It's just stupid how accurate this is. Very fun to shoot, and that's why it got so high on the list. Now, number 2, we're getting close to number 1. I mean, we're narrowing this thing down. Number 2 is the Zev Custom Sig Sauer P320 X Compact. That's a mouthful. But this little gun is amazing. Optics ready, has a TLR 7A on it, and the trigger, look at this. That's your take up, that's it. Then it breaks, reset, right there. Oh, the trigger on this is phenomenal. This is going to make a great carry gun. I said in the other video I need to get suppressor height sights to co-witness. I don't carry guns that don't have iron sights as backups. And after I mounted this Holosun, I believe it's the 508T, it sets up so high that I can't co-witness my irons anymore. So I'll probably just wind up putting a set of the X-Ray Sig sights on it. And then once I get a appendix sidecar holster, this will probably quickly take the place of my P365. Really like this handgun. It's just so smooth. It's amazing. It feels awesome in the hands. Zev did the grip module on this, and it feels awesome as well. They just did a phenomenal job. It almost made number 1, but number 1 is actually one of my favorite handguns I own. I looked for this gun for a little over 4 months. I looked for the next one for right at 4 months, which will tell you all a lot of what number 1 is. But before we get into number 1, we're going to look at the honorable mention. It hadn't been too long ago that I picked this gun up. Again, not much take up, breaks, a little bit longer reset, little bit grittier trigger, but this is the Sig P320 M18. This one does have a safety on it. Mixed emotions about that. The safety does have a very strong detent, so you really don't have to worry about hitting it and accidentally turn the safety on, because if I was going to carry this, I would carry it with the safety off. Just my 2 cents right there. I would not carry it with the safety on. That's just me. You do you. If you feel comfortable not having the safety on, by all means do what you need to do. If you feel more comfortable with the safety on, carry it with the safety on. If you're going to do that, train and make sure when you pull it out, that when you pull it out, you click that safety off. You don't want to pull out your handgun, hit that trigger, and don't hear that famous bang sound that guns are known for. I did buy a TLR 7A in the FDE for this pistol. Thought with the FDE sort of, it's kind of like a goldish FDE with the black accents, and then you have the FDE gun with the black accents. It just went perfectly. This is an Optics Planet exclusive light from Streamlight, and a lot of people's asked me where I've got this, and that's where I got it, Optics Planet. I do want to say Optics Planet usually has some of the slowest shipping ever. This arrived quick. It was like 3 days, it was at my door. Quickest shipping I've ever got from Optics Planet. Now, I do want to say, same scenario I've complained about in other guns is when you remove this plate to put an optic on it, your rear sight comes off with it. Don't like that. I will never put an optic on this because the rear sights are removed unless I send it somewhere and have a rear sight channel cut into it so that I can put a rear sight on it. I have thought about doing that. I've also heard that if you take this plate off, there are screw holes in this now and some other SIGs that you can mount Hollisons and RMRs on instead of just the Delta Point Pro and the Romeo 1s, which I'm not a huge fan of either one of them. I do have a Romeo 1. It's a great optic. I don't trust the durability of it. That's my issue. I trust the Hollisons. I trust, you know, the RMRs. The RMR is always going to be the top dog on reliability on optics. But I really think that Hollison makes a really good optic, and I would be my second choice all the time. But I do like the big field of view in the Hollison, which makes me put it on more pistols than RMRs. The last thing that I don't really like about this is it has a loaded chamber indicator right here. And this also sticks out when there's a round in it. And maybe that's something the military asked for, but I'm not a huge fan of the one on the top, just my 2 cents. But that's probably what put this in to an honorable mention. Also, I just turned the light on. Also, I didn't want 3 SIGs in this, although I really like this handgun. I really like the fact that you have 21 round extended magazines. You get 2 21 rounders that come with it, and I believe it's a 17 rounder that comes with it. But I really like the 21 rounder, and this is a great gun, but sadly it made honorable mention. So let's get on with the number 1 handgun, my favorite handgun that I bought this year, and it might be my favorite handgun that I own. And that is the Sig Sauer X5 Legion. This gun is amazing. It has the smoothest slide that I have ever felt. The trigger, amazing, amazing. Hits that wall, hits that, I mean, look at that take up. It's nothing. Snap. Reset is a little long. It's longer than the Zev's, but the trigger pull is every bit as good as the Zev. I think this is a sexy gun. I like how they set up the sights. Although, there again, the rear sight, when you remove the plate to put an optic on it, the rear sight also is removed. This will never get an optic because of that. Even though this isn't something I would carry, I will still never put an optic on this gun because I prefer irons over the optics. If I'm just plinking, I guess. Optics you have to really train with to be able to pick those up when you present the pistol. I've been shooting irons my whole life. I'm 43 years old. I've been shooting since I was like 4. So I've been shooting irons for a very long time, and maybe it's because I'm old or whatever it is, but I just am not willing to give up a rear sight for an optic. Now there again, maybe I could send this off to Zev or somebody and have a rear sight channel cut in the back. I'm not sure if I could, and I'm going to tell you why I say that. Look how little bit of meat there is above this. What's this one look like? This one is the same way. That little bit of meat above that. Now, if we look at the Zev custom gun, look how much meat is on this one. Let's hold these up here together. So I'm not sure that you could even have a rear sight channel made into this without getting into the internals of the pistol. Therefore, this will always just have straight irons on it. But that does not make me like this pistol any less. I love this gun. I love the tungsten fused frame. It is heavy. That definitely helps mitigate recoil. That heavy frame. It is just a pleasure to shoot. It is so smooth, so fast. This thing is awesome. A lot of people, when I did an Instagram poll, said they'd rather have the CZ Shadow 2. Great gun. Not knocking the Shadow 2. I love the Shadow 2. For my money, this is cheaper, and I like it better. Just my 2 cents, but I do like that better than the Shadow 2. Took me longer to find the X5, and maybe that's what it is. I just actually had to put some work into it, and I appreciate the work I put into it to find it. But for my money, the Shadow 2 wins it. Now, again, as I talked about in another video, if I get the Tactical Sport CZ, maybe that'll edge out the Shadow 2, because that is a phenomenal trigger in the Tactical Sport and or the Parrot. So, but you're spending a considerable, both those guns, the Tactical Sport is double what the Sig cost. The Parrot is 3 times what the X5 cost. So they should be better guns, supposedly. But there it is. That is my top 5 with an honorable mention favorite handguns that I bought so far in 2021. Now, I have a lot of catching up to do on gun reviews, so I may scale back a little bit on buying some guns until I get the reviews done and get them put up. But as for right now, this is what my favorite is. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite handgun or rifle that you purchased in 2021 is. I'm curious to see what you all like the best, and if you agree with this. Do you agree with the order? If not, put what order you would have them in the comment section below. I appreciate you all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.